So if you guys saw the last video, I said I'd link to the Studio Series Starscream upgrade kit, and then I forgot to. So I'm going to amend that by putting the link into this video, and it has already been corrected on the previous one, so if I'm stupid enough to forget again, this time there is at least a redundancy. So if you want that file, and I forget to put it here again like the idiot I am, then it will be waiting for you in the Starscream video. Also, the latest episode of the Fraternacons got taken down. Again. It's not the biggest loss considering there was a horrible error that we failed to notice before uploading, where the audio for half the video was entirely desynced, so we will be uploading a corrected version anyways. So we are finally coming to the end of Kingdom Wave 2. Just a few more figures to talk about. So, let's discuss the two little ones already. It's Kingdom Core Class Megatron. That's Legends Megatron to you if you're normal, and Scrappy Doo Megatron if you remember one of my oldest videos at this point, which was for some reason glitched, so if you were trying to watch it on an app, it would just never play. I have no idea why. Oh my god, this thing looks so good. How the hell is this thing so pretty? Screw this thing looking better than the Earthrise version of Megatron. This looks better than any of the other War for Cybertron Megatrons, period. This tiny little dictator is prettier than most of the figures from Kingdom. It's astonishing that he looks as good as he does. His worst traits are his kibble backpack and the peg coming off of the left inner elbow. And yeah, those are pretty fucking ugly, but you can pull the backpack off if you really don't like it. I don't know that the bracket that it's on will hold up to that kind of abuse over time, but it is an option. The elbow is kind of doomed to suck unless you are willing to take a pair of clippers to it though. Now, you might take issue with his cool tank epaulets, but if you do, I hope you don't mind if I call you mad. That's like maximum Megatron. It conveys a sense of power and military presence. It just oozes his identity. And if you've seen the paint on this thing, you know me, I'm not one for paint. Oh baby, this looks good. It's really just his head, torso, treads, and hands that got it, but damn it's pretty. I said it's only that, but it's like 80% of the figure. And what hasn't been painted has been cast in a really lush metallic plastic. He's so dark and vibrant at the same time. It's not like me to gush about the deco of a figure so much, but oh, this is just doing everything right. Speaking of right, ooh, that head. That puts the Earthrise to shame. It puts the Siege to shame. Hell, I'm liking the look of this head better than I do the Masterpiece. It's basically the perfect tiny Megatron head, except from behind where it gets pretty damn ugly. And he even comes with accessories. Does the fusion cannon count? It's kind of one, right? It's permanently affixed to his arm, and it's on a pin swivel, but it still counts, right? It does fit Siege blast effects, and they are sized so much more appropriately for this little guy. Basically, every last one I can give him looks awesome. It's too bad the back of the cannon doesn't also have a port so it can vent the blast out the back, but I'll live. He also comes with a tiny version of himself. I just asked for this. I was like, hey, I really want a Megatron to come with a tiny mass-shifting version of himself. That way he can give it to other figures so they can wield him. And lo and behold, Kingdom delivers. And once again, you are going to notice that mine's a lot shinier than yours will be. So, say it with me, I had my brother paint it with Stuart Semple's mirror. And yeah, it does take this accessory that was kind of dingy and punch it up several notches. Though, it does kind of interfere with the alt mode. All the plastic on this guy feels great, by the way. Posability on Megs here is kind of incredible. Not only does it have significantly more posability than the average Legends class, but it's probably got more posability than the average War for Cybertron figure in general. Though posability does put us in contact with this figure's one great sin, the build. You'll see what I mean. Head is on a swivel, but it's not a layer loose. You can also unpeg the back to get some downward tilt, and if you do remove the backpack, it won't even look bad at all. Shoulders can get all the way out to the side, but they have very limited up. More so on the arm with the fusion cannon where it collides with the epaulette and prevents him from being able to aim straight. Either the fusion cannon has to be crooked, or you have to sneak it into one of the few places it will let you go. But it's unfortunate to say the least. Normal 90 elbows, but what do you expect of a Legends class? And the left wrist can twist. Not the right one though, so that's a little silly. But are you ready for this? Backwards butterfly on a Legends class. Don't see this every day. Completely uninhibited legs and hips, and 90 knees again. Disappointing, but still, what do you expect of a Legends class? I'll tell you what you don't expect, something approaching ankle tilts. It doesn't look the best, but it's doing the job. So hell yeah, this thing kicks ass in the posing department. Hell, this is better than some Voyagers in the War for Cybertron. Transformation on this guy is for the most part the Siege Megatron, but improved if you can believe that. If it weren't being let down by the build constantly wanting the legs to pop off, then I'd say that this is absolutely for sure better than the Siege Megatron's transformation. It's simplified in all the right ways, though it does require you to use his gun for the barrel, and that is both suboptimal in terms of aesthetic, as well as it means that you either have to keep it handy or steal it off of whatever figure you gave it to. The end result, for the most part, I'd say is a better tank than both the Siege and the Earthrise. If the barrel weren't so silly looking, it would just flat out be better, no arguments to be made to the contrary. The H-tank qualities are extremely diminished, and the back almost doesn't have any gap at all. Boy, this little guy makes the Earthrise figure look like a joke when that had extra parts forming to fix a problem that this did simply by having good engineering. As for the Starscream,
oh, how it pains me to do this.
2 Starscream reviews in a row? Let's go. Starscream isn't looking as good as the Megs. At first glance, he doesn't look like he has much paint, but no, most of his chest is painted, and any part of him that's blue has been painted as well. He's got a nose cone on the back, and well, yeah, I do hate that. I fault a Legends figure less for that particular egregious sin. And this guy's transformation is crazy enough that I can see how it was necessary. I've heard other reviewers complain about his lack of heels and how it causes him to fall over, but hey, guys, just don't fold up the rear wings. It gives him absolutely monstrous heels. He's not going to fall down anytime soon. How did you miss this? Anyways, yeah, this guy is not coming off as quality as the Megatron. It's clear that he's supposed to be some kind of companion piece to the Earthrise figure, as a lot of his details are straight up copied off that figure when they are not typical of his design. His sides are brutally unpainted, and his shoulder pylons are skinny and curved for some reason, so those come off very weak. He's a bit long in the legs, and the insides of the shins are hollow, unlike Megatron's. Lastly, I feel like his crotch is a lighter shade than the rest of him. His wings are pretty good, though. Head is better than the Earthrise, I'll give it that much, and it's well painted, but there's something off about it. Possibly the near-complete lack of neck. But as much as I complained just now, this guy has a pretty decent overall look. He comes with his 2 null rays, and these look much better than both the Siege and the Earthrises, but the pegs they are on are not very substantial. They won't fit a normal-sized figure, and they love to fall out, which you wouldn't think would be the case because they feel like they make a solid connection, but it's a lie, they don't. Posing on this guy isn't great, and it's way more typical of a Legend scale figure. So typical, in fact, that the only things I'm going to bother telling you about is, there is no up and down at the head, only swivel, and there is no waist swivel. Which, I mean, really? This figure is so much less complicated than the Megatron, and you guys couldn't fit in a waist swivel? It just feels sub-basic on the posing front. Transformation on this guy is more complicated than you think it's going to be, and it's also not fun. The way the chest locks into the body is excessively strong, and there is just no good way to open it without a tool or ripping your fingernails in half. If you even have any, which I never do. It hurts is what I'm saying. This transformation physically hurts. Also, you are going to knock off the null rays. It's just going to happen, so get ready for that. And you really don't need to peg the fists in, it doesn't do anything. I'll give it credit, that's not the way I expected it to work, but that doesn't make it an enjoyable experience. I did somehow manage to get through it once without hurting my fingers though, and it was a fun little process that time. So if they just reduce the strength of the locking tabs, this could really be substantially improved. And yaw mode is pretty good. It comes across a lot better in hand than it did in pictures. The cockpit looks a lot less silly in person, but the head is still just blatantly chilling out on the underside, and I can see a step in the transformation where they could have had the head hide away inside of his crotch, which, I mean, that'd be a thing to see, but I guess hindsight is 20/20. But yeah, a solid little jet mode. And if they come out with this a dozen times in different colors, I will probably happily snatch all those up. So, we got a kind of weird pair here. The Megatron is incredible. This might be the highest quality Legends figure Hasbro has ever produced. Everything it does with style, and it clearly put in the effort. Every millimeter of it screams quality. More than any figure in Kingdom, this one feels like they were trying to crowbar in every grain of value they could muster. However, with the Starscream, he just feels like another Legends figure. A solid one, but just another one. He's painted well, pose is average, alt mode is fine, transformation could be liked if yours is less insistent on holding itself together, but he doesn't escape just being another Legends figure. This you can pass. For $10 you don't need it, but there's a good chance you'll still be pleased to have it. The Megatron though is something special. He is a top tier Legends figure, and I am giving him my enthusiastic recommendation. I mean it when I say I think this guy's only issue is that the build is ready to pop apart. I don't think you should get this if you want it already. I think you should get this. You will probably be quite happy with it. Normally, I'd rather talk you out of spending money on something you may not like, but this time, for $10, I really don't think you can go wrong with this guy. And that's not half of what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. And I know you know what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you'll enjoy listening to me waste your time.